Hey everybody, Shane here, dailyastrocat.com, and today is Monday. It's the 9th of March, and today I've got some astrology for you. So let's go. Today the moon is in Scorpio, and it's going to be void, of course, at 7:28 a.m. on the East Coast. East Coast time is what I always use. And it's going to enter Sagittarius at 11:37 in the morning. That gives us a slight void, of course, moon during the morning. With Jupiter starting to station direct, that's not really going to matter that much because we're going to actually be feeling that pull towards Sagittarius, and that's some action, and we're going to explain that a little bit later on as we go. Markets are going to take an early dive. You can already see it in the pre-trading. Only because of this lovely situation that we have going on in the Middle East. Use this morning to gather resources. Speak to the dreams that others may be having. Yeah, that's one way you can actually help facilitate things with other folks. And that way you know how to frame questions expansively. Now, Jupiter extends the ability for the moon in Sagittarius to take us places. That's right. We will need to literally travel today to answer the questions that Mercury retrograde in Pisces is causing others to ask of us. Get everything done by later tonight, however. Stationary Jupiter is making us feel rather optimistic concerning our personal security because Jupiter is in Cancer. Today's keyword is personal fortune because the fortunes of the world in general are going to be pretty much on a downward trend. So we have to look out for number one, and that would be us. And our color is a deep orange chunk of amber. Sometimes they get like that, right? Translucent, rather orangey. They can go from that yellow to the golden to the honey, and sometimes orangey. Now, the sun in Pisces is just about at the halfway point through the season. Still trine with Jupiter and conjunct with Mercury. Now, Trisha on TikTok liked how I said I write surrounded by my cats. I used to write as my cats, okay? I've got Willie and Sirius hanging out with me. And, really, I used to write in their voices. They would interact with the planets, and it was kind of fun. And it would go with whatever the moon would be in. So say, like, for today, Sagittarius is in... the moon's going to enter Sagittarius. I would have Willie doing it, and actually Saranya would do the crossover with him because she's the water cat, so she would actually be presenting the Scorpio things, and then Sirius would come in, and he's the fire wizard, and he was just very matter of fact and very quick. So, and one of the favorite things that Sirius always did, though, was he always would say that, that Sagittarius is always shooting over the horizon, looking for the next big thing, right? And that's very interesting because when you're drawing that bow back today, us personally, when we're really trying to shoot for whatever it is we're trying to get, what our goals are, we're going to feel that. We're going to feel that because it's going to feel really good. And we're going to be achieving some personal goals when we start to draw that bow back and take that shot. Now, there's war still raging. We have to understand that the Jupiter is focused on Cancerian values. And those are close and personal to our homes and to our hearts. Mercury and the Sun trine Jupiter is why the good fortune vibes feel this way, and rather than for the greater good of society. Even though Venus is going to be sextile with Pluto early tomorrow, we're going to feel this, okay? Any mistakes in communication that you may make today or over the course of the whole Mercury retrograde, they've got a chance to be corrected sometime after the 20th when Mercury is direct, because we're going to be going back and being able to revise some of the things we may have said if we made some mistakes, or, maybe we're just talking too much or not being very clear or being vague. That might happen. So thanks, Trisha, for asking about the cats. And my favorite thing to be doing, right? Okay, Trish. So normally, Sagittarius vibes are easily scattered, especially when taken up by the fast-moving and moody moon. Jupiter's lack of movement informs the moon's aspects with planets in the air and fire signs. So basically, once the moon passes into Sagittarius, we're going to have kind of like a little outsized kind of helping ourselves creatively. Discipline, being able to do the things and follow through, and really just honing in on what it is that we need to start innovating with, because we had that eclipse that was in Aquarius that said that we had to do some innovation. We had to be a little bit aloof too, right? Hard to do in the Pisces season because we feel everything so intensely, especially with the moon and especially with Jupiter being in Cancer. That's kind of a moody thing too. So we're feeling the emotion of it, but we don't want to get too tied up in that. We have to be able to do this objectively and rationally, and that's what Saturn is. That's that goal. That's that role that Saturn is playing, parked right next to Neptune and Venus for that matter. So now we're just using our powers of attraction in a good way, and hopefully it'll be getting better. Now, let's see, where did I leave off there? The wisdom, the moon's wisdom, tells us that there's something more here to be discovered. Honestly, yes, that's the way it is. Even though it's moody and we're just like, okay, but there's something more here to be discovered. And Jupiter begins to deliver some promised riches, and it's going to be, it's important that we reflect on our why, to borrow a phrase from behavioral psychology. We focus on the why. Why are we doing this? What is it that we're doing? Now, this is an important concept because the goal that is driving you is tied very much to those North Node intentions that you may have experienced during the Aquarius solar eclipse. So, and that was back in, back the last new moon, right? So, what else do we have? Well, let's talk about this. This is an important concept. Remember that karmic goal, that goal that we're striving towards, that's being set by those lunar nodes and the eclipses, have quite a lingering effect as we move forward throughout the rest of this season. And honestly, it's going to just be beginning. So the season is closing out, but the nodes carry over, okay? They're not going to stop suddenly because the sun enters Aries. They're just going to carry over to that next cycle and may very well carry over into the following year where that cycle is going to be renewed. So the goal that's driving you, yep, North Node intentions. Don't be fooled. Today is super creative. You may think it's just for business or something like that. It's not. It's for everything. Remember, we have that path that we put on the single course now. There's no such thing as, oh, my work life, oh, my creative life, oh, my side hustle. Everything's all tied together. So whatever benefits one will benefit the other. The more creative your proposed solutions are to whatever Mercury retrograde problems that you're in, have encountered, and what you're traveling to try to answer today, the greater the chance you will have of adding to that personal fortune. Now, Mars is almost conjunct with the North Node. This is something that's very interesting because the moon will be square Mars later on tonight. And this is what's going to inform us and make us start thinking about this, because that eclipse power that we had, it's going to help us end what is least important to us, because the moon is square Mars. Mars is like, hey, I'm kind of tied up here. There's something emotionally blocking the ability of Mars to be able to go forward, because Mars is actually in Pisces right at the beginning stages. He will eventually catch up with Jupiter, and that will be the trine, and that will be the point where the sun is at right now. But right now, Mars and Mercury's going to go back and meet Mars. And maybe that will be some informative activity too, because that will be able to inform our actions and make sure that we're able to best utilize them. Once, twice, thrice, remember? So, with that being said, look, we're going to get even more intense, and we're going to get even more as we need to just get happening, right? As we approach the Aries season, it's going to get more intense. Keep your vibration high. Now, Susie on TikTok, she commented, oh my God, I'm a Scorpio rising, when I was talking about Scorpio Moon yesterday. Look, your ascendant, your rising signs and ascendant, interchangeable, right? They're both interchangeable. it's kind of cool because actually Carrie is a Scorpio rising too. I happen to be a Virgo rising or a Virgo ascendant. And the reason why it's important is because once you know what your ascendant is, that's where your chart actually begins and the clock face begins. So all the houses that affect our different phases of our lives, say like the personal house, the first house. Our ascendant is our identity, personality, physical appearance, and perception. Now, is it our perception? Can be, maybe not. Or maybe it's the way others perceive us, how we tend to come off. You can be a totally different sun sign than your ascendant, and usually that's the case. But, you could also be the same sign. However, how you're perceived and the vibe you give off is that ascendant sign. Now, Christopher Renstrom, pretty famous astrologer, he asserted one time on a podcast I was listening to that the older he gets, the more he feels like he's turning into his ascendant rather than his sun sign. That's becoming his predominant features and everything like that, because he's I believe he's a Capricorn rising, which is kind of interesting. Or he might be sun sign Capricorn. He may be a different, I don't really remember. But, me being a Virgo, Virgo ascendant, right? I'm actually an Aries sun, Aries moon. That's where that goes. So, Susie, there you go. That Scorpio ascendant. Now, you have to remember that, wherever your ascendant is, planets that interact with that, or when the moon returns to it, say like it's the moon transiting over your ascendant, that can get to you some emotionally too. That's why I like the Virgo cycles, and you can probably tell by my writing that it's like, it's there. Scorpio actually really gets along well with Virgo because Virgo is just, it's in tune. It can handle these things. It can handle the mysteries of Cancer and Scorpio and Pisces being opposite Pisces, and that's why that actually works well together. So now you have a little bit more practical astrological knowledge to go along with the day. And keep those comments coming, and I'll keep on answering them. And I might even answer them here, just like I did today. So in 1497, Nikolai Copernicus, his first recorded astronomical observation was made on this date in 1497, on March 9th. And he did it in Bologna, where he observed the moon occulting, that means hiding, right? Occulting the bright star Aldebaran, known as the Eye of the Bull. He likely used this observation to verify lunar tables. So, rather than rush off and just say, hey, heliocentric, yeah, not happening, right? Rather than immediately challenge the established cosmology, which he later published in De Revolutionibus. And our birth is in 1945, Robin Trower. He's a British rock guitarist from Procol Harum, 1967 to 71, with a long and storied solo career. So, he's born in London, England. Happy birthday, Robin Trower. And that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate and love every single one of you. Our color is that very vibrant, deep orange chunk of amber, translucent. And our keyword is personal fortune. Keywords, I guess there's two. Appreciate and love every single one of you. Keep those comments coming. I want to keep on commenting on them. Today is a 5. Happy astrocatting.